when you say that, Swipa, when you say that they lack the total energy and totality, I don't want to put that on the Clippers. I want to put that on your Denver Nuggets.
No, I agree.
I thought that they brought the fight to the Clippers. I thought Denver made it clear that this is an elimination game and we're not going home. And I feel like as a collection, they played like that. I thought that the ball moved a lot more. I thought that the defense was a lot sharper. I thought the rebounding was so much better in that game 7. I thought that you guys were much more detailed oriented in that game than you've been in any other game throughout the course of the series. And I think that you came in and made a statement early on.
Well, the Nuggets had 3 20-point leads in 3 of the last 4 games in the series. So I think they had obviously figured something out. But I will say, I think what really spearheaded the launch was Russell Westbrook, Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, and Peyton Watson. They ran the second man unit. They had their 4 best defenders on the court with Jamal, and basically they just. Who'd you say, Swiper? Christian Brown, Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, and Russ. That was the 4 men that they had out there, and basically their defense,
all unplayable guys.
No, their defense and their energy continues to do. You control from Cancun all you want, Murdoch. So
I'm not trolling at all. Swiper. You said they were unplayable.
In game 3 they were. If you're going to bring up this nonsense, I want you to address Kawhi because you've been running on the timeline.
Welcome home, brother.
You have been running on the timeline. Running on the timeline. You never want to hold Kawhi accountable. Ever.
For what? Kawhi played great basketball.
He was mid.
Kawhi played great basketball, and Jokic got carried.
Mid for most of the series, had no impact on most of the games. But he's going to skate because you like him. So I'm saying we can do this if you want.
I didn't even get into it.
We can do this if you want. Since you want to take shots, we can do this if you want.
I simply said one thing.
He didn't play in the fourth quarter again.
Relax,
he sat.
Relax.
Nowhere to be seen. It wasn't in the fourth quarter. When the third quarter happened, what was Kawhi doing? We're shifting the conversation. When the third quarter happened, what happened? What happened in the third quarter when Kawhi was on the court?
I'm talking about what you're talking about.
Made no impact whatsoever.
You shifted
there's no shift. I said in game 3 they were unplayable. That's what happened. And then what happened from that point on? They started to dominate.
Have we had guys?
No, hold on, chill. Because I always just running from a bird. You keep big up in Kawhi Leonard. You have been big up in Kawhi Leonard for years. What did he do? Didn't do anything. Literally didn't do anything. Sat on the bench on his hands.
Are you going to talk about what we're talking about? Are you going to keep changing the subject like you always do?
I'm not changing nothing. Address your favorite player. Address your favorite player.
Address your favorite player.
I was going into the game, then you came off the mic. So I'm saying Kawhi Leonard, how many games do you feel like he made an impact in this series? Like 7 games. Fully healthy.
Every single game. Every single game.
That's what I'm talking about. Just once again. No one holding me over. In the third quarter, they went on a 15-0 run with Kawhi Leonard on the court. Did nothing. They got up 27 points with Kawhi Leonard on the court. Did nothing. And then in the fourth quarter, instead of being a man and standing on his 10, he rode the pine the entire quarter of a game 7. This is the second in a row. Look at me. This is the second in a row game 7 versus the Denver Nuggets. He got 0 points in the fourth quarter. 0 in back-to-back game 7. The last 2 we've seen versus Denver, nothing. Didn't do anything. In 2020, did nothing. In 2025, did nothing. Run a 5-year run of 0.
I know how bad Juju want to put Kawhi Leonard's downfall.
I ain't praying for his downfall. I'm just listening to what my man just told me. My man just told me it sounded like Kawhi Leonard was unplayable. That's what it sounded like to me.
All I simply said.
All that two-way dominance, chill. All that two-way dominance. All he does is hit tough jumpers. You ask him to play make, he can't do it. You ask him to penetrate, he can't do it. He couldn't drive past Aaron Gordon. I thought Aaron Gordon wasn't going to do nothing with him. He wasn't even driving by Christian Brown. He was hunting Jamal Murray out of dear life. And then all he did is hit contested twos the whole series. And yet here you are talking about, he played great. The dude got. That's what I'm saying. We can go. You
got so upset. You got so upset for no reason.
The Denver Nuggets.
Hold on. You're not just
with Russell
on the mic
and Christian Brown.
They
changed the tempo in the second quarter with their defense. They started running in transition. The defense was great from those 4, and they got the Nuggets back in the game. Jokic started 0-5.
You can't.
Swipa and Ox. It's a Monday morning. We just had a good weekend of hoops. I'm down here in Cancun. It's hot as hell. It's hot as hell. We having a good time.
I'm just confused on how it's chill here.
I'm not confused. I just wanted to simply address that. All I said, Swiper, was what happened to all these unplayable dudes that you've been talking about all season? I kept trying to tell you. I'm trying to tell you, Swiper, how good your basketball team is. I've been saying this for months, and you keep talking about no, this guy's unplayable, this guy's unplayable, this guy's unplayable. And I'm just curious about that, Swiper. I didn't try to throw the Clippers no bail. None of that. I'm just simply wondering what happened to all these unplayable dudes that you keep talking about. Why do you always come up here and pretend like the basketball team isn't good to try to big up Jokic when in fact this is a very good basketball team?
So when I brought
That's all I wanted. Hold on, Swiper. With your loud ass mic.
No. Jamal Murray being a top 20 guard in the league, what happened after that?
I'm not going to remember that conversation loud ass mic try to tell me what I'm saying. I'm not gonna let this loud ass mic keep trying to tell everybody what I'm saying.
Is it the same level of
what exactly? Ox, it sounds to me like Denver's a good basketball team. I want
that's
what it sounds like to me.
Turn it back up or down.
Swiper to talk. I don't do what you got to do, Swiper.
I mean,
I just want Swiper. I just want it's all easy for me. What I want Swiper to do. What I want Swiper to do is talk about this basketball team and stop pretending like they're not good just to big up Jokic.
Maybe he doesn't feel like they're that good. And maybe he feels like Jokic is that great.
And to be clear,
how could all these dudes be unplayable and carry his big ass?
They're not unplayable. Jokic programmed them before the series.
I'm just curious, Swiper. Like, I want to know, is this a good basketball team or not?
So the whole year we watched this.
That's all I said.
You said your piece. Let me answer you directly. The whole year we've all been saying this team has been underperforming. They won 50 games straight by. They had one of the worst benches, bottom 3 bench in the NBA this entire season. And everybody knew this. We had gone over this multiple times. We had already said, and I told you since January what their issues have been. They haven't been able to play defense all season. They haven't. This is the first time for a 7-game stretch. I'll gladly tell you, because they had the best offense basically in the league for most of the season. It's not top 3 at minimum for most of the season. That's what happened.
The best offensive players too. Don't leave that part out. The best offensive players too.
See, that's the thing. You're putting stuff in there. I'm just telling you what happened. Their defense
you said these dudes were unplayable.
21. In game 3, they were. In 2000, in this year, the entire defense was ranked 21st in the NBA. They hadn't defended. They had lost to the Washington Wizards. We all watched that game twice. They lost to the Lakers with no LeBron and Luka. And then when LeBron and Luka did play, as we talked about, and Marge brought this up, when we had the whole conversation about the Lakers and the Nuggets, when they're going to put 2 on the ball versus Luka and LeBron, we talked about they can't defend it because they don't have the defenders. The backline rotation, what it wasn't supposed to be this year. They weren't playing good enough at the level this year. They don't have POA defenders. We said this all season. So what happened is they come into the playoffs. Yes. All right, let me ask the group up here. Did we at any point in time say they had a good defense this season? I just want to know. I'm asking the group. I'm opening the conversation.
I didn't.
Wait. No.
Okay,
I'm talking about a good basketball team, Swiper.
If you can't play defense, which is for you half the ball.
You said that this team was you said that this team was unplayable. I just want to know, is this
that happens? Yes,
so
that happens in playoff games.
Game 3, Swiper. Stop lying.
I only said it in game 3 because that's exactly what happened. They had 2 players. They had 2 players that performed in that game. In that game is what happened. So here we're going. We're going back to the year. The entire year, the defense was bad. Everybody acknowledged this. They didn't have the POA defenders, and even at their best, they hadn't put together a stretch of games this whole year, this whole season where they're playing defense like this. What happened is, and what I told you going into the series, if they end up showing that they've done something they haven't done all year, and they can play
Christian Brown playable,
they can be aggressive, they can play at the level the way they're supposed to, they can have POA defense, they can screen navigate, the conversation would be different. And they did that. So they finally do it, and then they win. And arguably, and just to be clear, if Jokic played better in game 2, they're done in 6. The series is over. If he makes his free throws, I can't remember what happened down the stretch of that game. Makes his free throws and then makes some of those bunnies.Ust missed those 2 bunnies in that game. They win the game, and then the series is over in 6. So we have literally had this conversation multiple times. Where we're talking about, I'm going to read this. Somebody read this. Somebody read this.
When did Swiper bringing up the players being unplayable in the game 3 because they were bad and injured turn into he said they were unplayable all season?
When did I say they were unplayable this season?
How you've been saying these dudes were unplayable, and I've been the one I've been the one up here defending. I've been the one up here defending your basketball team, and I'm just curious to know if this team is in fact unplayable. That's all I said. I didn't come up here talking about this and that. I just simply said that, and it's really not that big a deal, Swipa. Let's just keep going.
Well,
what's
you're
funny
bringing
is,
up
Swipa, the energy you have for Ox should be for me. No, I was the one that said y'all was trash, but keep getting it out, though. He deserves it. He needs
That's the issue, Ron. You don't give people credit.
Hell yeah, I came on the mic for sure.
You've been consistent. You've been consistent. You don't give people credit on the Nuggets, and we know this.
Thank you.
You call Murray Lester. You say
you don't. And you said that all season, Ron.
A bunch of stuff. Yes.
And when it was time for him to be more, what happened?
He was less.
And who stepped up?
When this series?
Who put on their big boy shorts? Yes, this series.
Have you been big up on Russ this whole year?
Who came and got y'all 2 games?
Russ.
2?
I wouldn't needed. Who stepped up?
A role player.
Who came up?
Yes.
Ron, as a matter of fact, Ron, Swipa tried to put that on me, the whole Jamal Lester thing, and I'm like, what? I never
put
said
the Lester.
We
did it.
No, because you did a
guard ranking 6 weeks ago.
And you was placing the bets too. I placed the bets. You got
there was a stretch. There was a stretch during the season where there was a conversation.
Jamal Murray.
Should Russ be starting? That was going on. That was a conversation. Should Russ be starting because he was playing really good at one point, and Jamal Murray had, for all intents and purposes, gone by the wayside. However,
like
when we started
talk about this team without dealing with narrative, that's what I'm saying. Like we had a whole good ass game. Game 7. Here he comes off the mic yapping. Go ahead, chill.
You're the one that created these narratives.
We literally got into the second quarter. Chill. We started this convo in the second quarter. What turned the tide of the game? And I started with the 4 role players, and then here comes Ox talking about unplayable. Just deal with what happened in Game 7. And if you're not coming out the mic to address Kawhi, you honestly have nothing to say today. Please chill.
You have nothing to say. No, you have nothing to say. You're just up here yapping. You don't control anything but the narrative that you created.
Let me just say this one thing, bro. I've been hearing y'all yapping for 20 minutes, bro. First of all,
listen.
Let me just say it respectfully. What's up, brother? What's up, bro? Let me say this. Chill. Why are you here, bro? You told me you was on a train, bro. You shouldn't be here. You should be somewhere else. First of all, chill. You been right. No. You should be on Ox Squad. You should be on Ox Squad. No, let me get to this.
I'm a figment of your imagination.
Let me get to this. Swipa, bro. Stop parading. Your time is done. You're playing OKC, bro. It's over. You know that, right? You know you're done, bro. Listen. You beat another thing. Address the elephant in the room. James Harden, bro, not showing up. Why have we not spoken about James Harden not showing up yet? That's ridiculous, bro. Where is it at? I haven't heard nobody talk about James Harden, bro.
Well, we were going
James Harden, bro, is the main guy that needs to show up in Game 7s, bro.
Yeah,
it's that simple.
Yeah, we were going to get to that. But first of all, I was so Dion has obviously been listening to my live streams. So Dion,
you shouldn't be here.
And I'm not. I'm a figment of your imagination.
I don't know.
Okay, I'm really not. I'm a figment of your imagination right now. You think you see me. I'm not here. I'm really dead because I was on that Clipper train that crashed, right? And I was dragged onto that Clipper train. I got off of it. I was dragged back on it and strapped down. And
this dude had all day to get off the train, bro. Now he's here. Now he's talking about, they're a good team. Listen, no, bro, he's switching up, man. Listen, my Lakers, bro, we in Cancun, it's cool, but I don't switch up, though. He up here switching up. Chill's up here switching up right now. It's ridiculous, bro.
I didn't have them making the playoffs this year.
No, he playing 2 sides, bro. He got 2 jerseys on. It's ridiculous, bro.
You full of shit. You are full of it. First and foremost, I ain't had the Clippers making the playoffs this year. So let's start there. I didn't have this team making the playoffs. I didn't think that they were a good team. No, I did not.
So who you have in the series, man? You had on the Clippers.
I had the Nuggets in 6.
I hate to step in and interrupt this intense yap session that you're currently watching, but I just have to inform you on all the amazing, spectacular, fabulous, endless ways to play and win over at Prize Picks. Basketball fans, I know the season is just tipping off. Yes, I know this. But you know what that means? It means that you have an opportunity to pick your favorite players and their matchups that are the most thrilling, and you can win money from these. With Prize Picks, you can play daily NBA contests and test your hoop knowledge by choosing the player projections in every single stat line imaginable to make your Prize Picks and take home some nice hard-earned cash. Are you a rookie in the game? Don't even sweat it. I got the playbook for you right here. All you have to do is download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and you will get $50 instantly when you play 5 here with Prize Picks. So what are you waiting for? Download Prize Picks, use promo code PANEL, and join me as we break down all of our amazing daily picks right here on the panel. Prize Picks. Run your game, control your game, win your game. It's easy, baby. It's easy.
All right, man.
What do you mean? All right, that's what I had. I had the Nuggets.
Then why are you on the Clippers train? Why are you not on the Denver train then?
I got dragged on the. I was.
Man, come on, man.
I got dragged on that train. I'm not.
And chill. Honest, and listen. I just had to address that, but no. Back to you, Swiper. You over here doing this fake parade, bro. Listen, your team going home, bro. You talk about, bro, Clippers is a lousy team. You know guys are going to show up in the fourth quarter, bro. We're talking about OKC, one of the best defensive teams, but that's offensive team. It's over, bro. It's over, bro. And Jokic's not even playing that good either. Jokic's not playing like the best player in the world right now either. You need to know that.
I do appreciate you for being here, Spike Lee.
Lousy.
Man, no, bro. This fake parade stuff, bro. Chill out with it, bro. Chill out with it, bro.
All I wanted to say is this. I think that Russell Westbrook,
the 4 guys you were talking about, Swiper. Can we get back to the 4? Yeah, let's get back to the 4 guys
taking over the game in the second quarter. Their defensive intensity is what shifted the game. And then on top of that, Murray and Jokic were not shooting well in the first half or in the first quarter in particular, like 0 of 9 to start the game. And then it was because of them that the game ended up turning the tide. They had 11
points. Zubac had your guys shook. Bro, Zubac had your guys shook the whole series, bro.
Why you keep talking about Zubac? Wait, stop right there. Whoa.
Let me say this.
Stop right there. Let me say this. Because this is nonsense. This is nonsense what you're doing. Stop talking about Zubac like Zubac is just okay. We're talking about Zubac who could be an all-league defender this year.
Okay, then. Okay, listen to this. Who has a better defense? OKC. Who has a better defense? OKC or what's called it? Or the Clippers?
The last 40 since Kawhi's
been there. Who had a better defense? So if he's struggling against the Clippers, what is he going to do against OKC? Well, they got 2 big men that's down there.
Since Kawhi's been there,
I'm just saying. No, 2 of them. They have 2 of them. Check it. Definitely hold his own against Jokic.
One of them is foul prone. Who is Hardenstein?
Okay.
So we can get him out of the game. So don't say
they got better defense, bro. They got better defense. They got better defense, bro. Jokic is struggling. Jokic is tired. He had an MVP season. He's tired. He's not even going to get MVP. He's tired. He's gassed out. I'm telling you that right now. You better hope Jamal Murray shows up, bro. Really, that's all I'm saying, bro.
This all started with giving players credit who are not.
No, because you trying to say have a fake parade, bro. You went against James Harden, bro. He's a shell of himself in Game 7. We know that, bro. Bro, SGA, you got to handle SGA next sentence. I'm just saying, bro. So this fake parade stuff got to stop. And Ox, bro, you was incorrect too. Kawhi Leonard is not himself. So you guys both was right, but you guys both was wrong at the same time. Literally.
I'm not here to be right. I'm not here to be right.
Thank you, Dion, for coming up here, bro.
You selected today's talent.
I'm just here to support Kawhi Leonard,
bro.
I'm not here to be correct.
You be quiet, bro. I'm here today, and listen, bro. I'm hurt, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm in Cancun right now. You know what I'm saying? And I want to say this, bro. Luka, bro, you gotta play better. You know what I'm saying? Luka, you gotta play better, bro. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James 40 years old. He should be the best defender out there. You know what I'm saying? And another thing, bro. We need some big men. JJ, bro. I'm disappointed, bro. I was rooting for you all season. You come out here, bro, and play like that, bro. You put that lineup out there. That's disgusting, bro. We need a big man, bro. So anybody help the Lakers? If not, LeBron James is gone. Laker Nation, you haven't, you know what I'm saying, appreciate LeBron James since he's been there. So listen, if LeBron leave y'all, you know what I'm saying, you got Luka, so it's gonna be cool. But make sure you make the right moves, because if not, LeBron James is out of there. So it's that simple.
All right, can we move beyond Ray Charles, please, and get back to the game? What I wanted to
come on, bro. Hey, bro, shut up, bro. Bill Cosby, stop talking to me.
Ron, what credit would you like to give to Russell Westbrook in Game 7? Because we can start there. That'd be a good basketball conversation.
Boy, Cloud, let's talk basketball then. Let's talk basketball then. What you gotta say then? Let's get it.
I'm not gonna say too much about this game because there's nothing really to say. The Clippers didn't show up, and the Nuggets clearly showed up and wanted to play in round 2. I do want to say this.
I do.
Dion, you brought up James Harden. This is the place that I'm going to start. Swipe, I know you said, who do I want to give credit to? No. Who do I not want to give credit to? And that is James Harden. This is despicable. And he has shown us that he is David Blaine time after time after time again. So this is all I want to say when it comes to James Harden. I was talking to somebody and they said, finally, we could stop putting James Harden in Steph Curry conversations. I said, Steph Curry? Who puts him in those conversations? The only time that James Harden and Steph Curry should be mentioned in the same sentence is if there is a child that's conceived and their first name is Steph and their last name is Harden. That's it. That is not a conversation, and it should never be in the same sentence. But then it went a step further. I'm like, James Harden should never be mentioned in the same sentence as a man that has 3 rings, a Finals MVP, which should be 2, but we won't get into that. Somebody who has more All-Stars and somebody who has more All-NBAs and somebody who, quite frankly, when it's time to win, they show up and hoop. And that is Dwayne Wade. And last but not least, there also is another person who I don't want to hear Harden's name ever mentioned with again. And that's somebody that when it's time to hoop, when it's time to go to the next round, he'll actually show up. You know, dunk on you and get technicals and all of that good stuff. You know, Mr. Triple-Double himself. Do not mention James Harden with Russell Westbrook again. I don't want to hear it no more. I'm through with it. I'm done with it. And that's all I got to say. Shout out to Russell Westbrook.
That last one was nasty, bro.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
James Harden's better than Russell Westbrook.
Hey, you could.
I was like, bro, this dude talking, bro. And you said that last one, bro, that was trash, bro.
Hey, he ain't looking.
But it's cool, though.
He ain't looking. Why wasn't he better than the last night?
I mean, he's not in his prime no more. He's not in his prime no more. Listen, first of all.
Russ been better. Right quick, Dion. Russ been better since 2012, and he's still better in 2025.
That's probably the most incorrect thing to say.
Call on Russell Westbrook. If you don't want to win it, rely on James Harden.
James Harden at their prime, first of all, James Harden at their prime, James Harden's better offensively. We all know that. At their prime, let's get that out the way, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then, bro, at their peak, bro, James Harden's better. And the thing is, they're out their prime. And another thing is, James Harden's actually orchestrating the Clippers' offense right now. He's actually the number 1 player for their offense. Russell Westbrook is like the 6-man center, man. I mean, that's kind of crazy. I'm just saying, bro. I mean, I think James Harden has more responsibility. James
Harden went from team to team, star to star, and disappointed at every single stop.
The Nuggets ran in the second half.
That's what I was about to come. I was about to come to you, Swipa, because I was thinking to myself with the collection of guys. I mean, we had 6 guys in double figures.
And 15 points.
Yeah, nobody. I don't think anybody scored 20.
Never done that in Game 7.
Yeah, nobody scored 20. We had 6 guys in double figures, and I think that 3-2 zone threw a monkey wrench in anything that they was doing with the Clippers, because I feel like they really spread them out. And not only did it spread them out, it kind of threw Zubac off, because now Zubac's got to play higher. He can't play as close to the basket as he did. Now he's got to play higher and get to the ball. So I think that threw him off a lot. Now, there were guys who I thought that Coach Adelman took out of the series, like Bogey, for example. I thought he did a really good job in keeping hands in Bogey's face. I thought he did a good job in mismatch hunting him. Not only mismatch hunting him, but I thought they did a good job in getting screens to get open shots and get him away from guys defensively. So, with that being said, I just felt like the collection of guys and how they played off Joker in that Game 7, how the defense that the Denver Nuggets played and sped up the game, because I thought the Clippers' transition defense was awful, right? And I felt like the Denver Nuggets did a great job in getting out an open floor. And they just looked like a team that was more together than what the Clippers were. So I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I had the Nuggets in 6. They ended up winning it in 7. And the question is where do we go from here with this Denver Nuggets team? Do we now see them as a legit contender, and is this where the road stops when they go up against this Oklahoma City team?
Dion mentioned it. Come on, like we don't even need to talk about the second round with the Nuggets.
Do you think they get smoked against Oklahoma City?
Well, Swipa has Denver in 7, so there's someone up here at least who thinks they can win. I know Ox doesn't believe in.
I think Christian. To give credit to Christian Brown, he basically took James Harden out of the series.
Yes, he did.
Except for Game 6, James Harden's 3-point shot was going, but Christian Brown was like spectacular after Game 1. Like I think the physicality and athleticism really boggled like James Harden a lot. And every time they tried to mismatch hunts with Jamal, they started doubling. And eventually the Nuggets figured out spacing chill, because what they did was they would have Norman or Batum topside. So if you doubled off of one of them and then try to get the ball to Harden's hands, they would just do an automatic rotation up to Batum or Norm, and then they just figured out like how to exactly rotate their defense to get back to the matches they won in the first place. And also James Harden over the series didn't do a good enough job giving off the ball. So when they did trap him, he would sometimes let the trap settle back into one-on-one defense with Brown, and then it was just like they would get back into that ISO heavy tween thing, and then either force it to Kawhi or force it to Norm. They would try to put the ball up, but all the way around, man, like the Nuggets defense was incredible. Russell Westbrook's off-ball defense was incredible in that game. 5 steals off the bench is just like.
I also think Christian Brown did a great job in his pickup point with James Harden. He slowed down their transition game because I think that the Clippers, they thrive in transition. So when he's slowing him down in transition, now James Harden's got to do a better job in taking care of the ball. Well, he wasn't doing that. And particularly off the pick and roll, like I felt like they was blitzing James Harden, but then they would get back. Like what I mean when I say that is, so I got James Harden and I got let's say not Zubac, because Zubac didn't come up high. So I got James Harden and I have Bogey. That's not good offense with these two guys playing pick and pop or pick and dive, because now I got 2 guards who can switch, but I also got 2 guards who can blitz. But Christian Brown was so good getting around screens that he was able to keep him. He was able to stay in front of James Harden, and then their offense wasn't really as efficient as it could be. Now we also got these guys with James Harden in the pickup point. We got their offense starting 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Now they got to play faster than they normally do. So especially in Game 7, they did that. I just thought the Denver Nuggets defensively as a collection, I thought they were great.
And Ox, Ox Chill, Ron and Dion, I don't know your basketball background at all, but I don't know. Have you ever had a bruised AC joint before?
A bruised
on your
AC
shoulder?
Joint. I had it on my elbow and it hurts like a bitch.
Yeah, so your AC joint is like, well, I don't want to do whatever, but anyway, it makes it hard to lift your arm. The week we played Michigan State in college, I did this in a week in practice, and I had to wear a pad on my shoulder for the next year. And on my bench, my arm was short like this. I couldn't fully extend my right arm, so I stopped benching for a year. So for Porter to be playing through that consistently and then not be able to raise his left arm, like, I just think he deserves a lot of toughness credit just for being able to battle through this series. And he's going to be big in this next series too. And also, Chill, he was hitting his shots. Because remember, in the third quarter, the Nuggets were up. They were up like, I think, 15 at 1.17. Porter made that contested 3 over Kawhi Leonard on the side in the left corner. And then Aaron Gordon put him up 20. And then Porter came down in transition on the right wing and just buried a 3 to put him up 23 points and basically put the game away in the third quarter. He just deserves a lot of credit, I think, for just being as tough in the series, even just defensively, like having to adjust playing versus Kawhi or adjust playing versus Batum. He just, again, they don't win the series without him either.
I do have to give credit.
Yeah, we definitely talked about that.
I do have to give credit to Zubac for how he played defensively against Joker, and not just defensively, offensively. He kept Joker on the defense, and I think that really affected Joker's game offensively. So I do have to give credit to Zubac for doing that. That was a big deal for him, no doubt. And don't get me wrong, I'm not just gonna what I'm not gonna do is I'm not just gonna completely discount that Joker played bad. No, Zubac was really good in this series. Really good finishing around the rim. He was really good holding the clip. He was really good at points holding the Denver Nuggets to one shot, holding Joker to one shot, challenging Joker on the glass as a rebounder. I think he really gave Joker all that he can handle this series. All that he can handle.
Like we talked about though, Chill, because we do Chill with Chill. We talk about these series a little more in depth and as much as we can. And I wouldn't say Joker played bad. I don't think that's I don't think that's correct. I just don't think he had the offensive explosion that he usually was having during the regular season. I think we can't credit Zubac for a lot of that. With the second chance opportunities, I think Zubac impressed me more than anybody this whole series. I mean, you had individual games like from Kawhi, individual game from Jamal Murray, where those two, went crazy. But Zubac was consistently, banging. And y'all know Jokic is huge. You know what I'm saying? So even though Zubac is huge too, like that's going to take a toll on anybody. Shout out to Zubac. But what you were saying about MPJ, we talked about that earlier too. I think it was game 2 where he was walking around and you could see he did not even want to move his arm. He was like in pain. You could see it. And so that's what I'm talking about though. Like playoff basketball. You know what I'm saying? Playoff basketball is just different where he wouldn't be playing if this was January, December, November. But you gotta be hard. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be tough. You gotta be serious about winning to get through playoff series, especially one like that. One that we were talking about from game 2, we realized this could be one of the better playoff series we've seen. I think the Clippers dropped the ball and not giving us a good game 7 to kind of cap it out. And
what do you think that was? Do you think that's like fatigue, altitude? Like, what do you, or just?
I don't never do the altitude fatigue. It's never an excuse. It just, and like I said on Saturday,
it's called being a fraud. That's
like I said on Saturday, Chill, the better team is going to win tonight, regardless of who that team is. I didn't know who it was going to be. I didn't know who the better team was, but I also remember telling you, Chill, like with Aaron Gordon in Game 4, when he, it's like when Derek White got that tip in last that one. Mm-hmm. It's like those type of plays right there is going to win series. Like when he did that, I had a pit in my stomach. Like, damn, it's over. You know what I'm saying? These dudes clearly won it. You know what I mean? So it's those things. Aaron Gordon to me is one of the most important like X factors in on any team.
And he still has a calf injury too, Ox. Like he's battling through injuries.
Here's the problem that we have with Kawhi Leonard. The problem that we have with Kawhi Leonard is that we haven't seen him in such a long time. Because we haven't seen him in such a long time, and we get a game like we got in Game 2, automatically the consensus is he's back. That's all it is he's back. Kawhi Leonard's going to be the guy. This is what we've all been waiting for. This is the guy that we've been waiting for even though we hadn't seen him in the playoffs in almost 5 years. He's back. But was he back? No, he wasn't. He just
he is back. No, he is back.
No, he is not.
Fact, like what I'm saying is Kawhi Leonard is who he is today. He is back. Kawhi Leonard is not 2021 Kawhi Leonard. He's not 2019.
And that's the point. That's
not the point.
That doesn't mean he's not back.
That's what I'm trying to say. Kawhi Leonard has been playing.
I'm not saying Kevin Durant hasn't been back since his Achilles.
Chill. Who is
playing more?
Which one of these players? Which one of these players? LeBron James, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden, Steph Curry. Give me one. Kevin Durant. Which one of these dudes are playing like they were playing in 2019? I never expect Kawhi Leonard to be 2019 Kawhi Leonard. What I'm saying is he's back because he could play a full series of playoff basketball.
NBA series.
Dion, hold on, bro. Hold on.
That's crazy, though, bro. Bro, he doesn't play the whole regular season, and then he come out there and play one NBA series. All right, bro.
All right, Dion.
So what are we doing? What the Clippers doing?
What are we doing? We're watching.
Kawhi Leonard timeline's over, bro.
Why are we acting like Kawhi wasn't hooping though?
What is he asking?
That's what I'm trying to get. That's what I'm trying to get.
We're chill. Are you good?
Bro, we need a
wait. Ron,
can you turn your mic down a bit?
The reason why this is going,
he's not asking anything. He's just talking shit.
The reason why I understand, but what Ox is doing is Ox is just trying to simplify this into Kawhi Leonard is back and that's it.
It's very simple. Chill.
No,
it's that simple.
But you're trying to act like he wasn't hooping.
No, I'm not.
You can make an argument that Kawhi was the best player in this series.
No, I cannot make an argument.
You can definitely make that argument.
Take Jokic off the table. Kawhi was easily the second best player in the series. All right, because I don't even want to go into that. So who was better than him?
Zubac was better.
I think it's fair to say that Zubac was the most consistent, important player on the Clippers this whole series. I think that's fair to say. But what is not fair is to act like Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing really good basketball.
That's not the point, though, Ox.
I had already said on Saturday to you, regardless of what happens. A first round exit, there's no excuse. A first round exit, there is no excuse for Kawhi Leonard or LeBron James. There is no excuse. You go home in the first round.
The Lakers had an excuse.
Bro, Dion, relax, bro.
Give us Zubac. We go to the NBA Finals, bro. We had no center, bro. We had no center, bro. If you give us Zubac, we go to the NBA Finals, bro.
That's a new problem.
I'm just saying, we had an excuse. Bro, we had a trade at the end of the trade deadline, bro. Bro, you had your squad for the whole year. What are you talking about?
You had a whole season to get a 5
Kawhi he only played 30+ games this year.
Well, I know that. Kawhi Leonard is important. But I'm saying, bro. Same superstar for the same team. We put Luka on a new squad.
You had all season to get a 5-man. All season.
Ron, this is a serious day of basketball. Today's a serious day, Ron.
Every day's a serious day of basketball. But I'm trying to figure out I'm trying to figure out why we're still acting like Kawhi wasn't hooping, though.
Do he know that?
I don't know
what am I saying? That's not serious.
I'm trying to figure out why we're acting like Kawhi wasn't hooping. He got you 25 points, damn near 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and he shot 50, 40,
83,
70 from the field.
Oh, so I thought it was 80. My fault.
50, 40, 77 to be exact. Kawhi was balling.
But like, are we just
the fact? Wait, hold on.
I was watching Swipa. Kawhi was balling.
You're right. Go ahead,
real quick. My thing about it is there's no excuse for losing in the first round. Sure. I'm not trying to do that. I'm just, and y'all know how I feel about it. It might just be sentimental. It might just be sentimental, and I'm trying not to be a sentimental guy, but I can't help it because for the past 2 years it's been Kawhi should retire. Kawhi this, Kawhi that. So for me to see Kawhi, for me to see Kawhi come through for the playoffs and score over 20 points for all 7 games and lose, I'm still like, yo, Kawhi played good basketball. This is a good sign that Kawhi can still play ball. I'm not trying to give no excuses or nothing. You lose in the first round, in my eyes, that's a stain. That's a stain. Like that's you can't overlook that.
I have a serious question.
There's no run. There is no excuse.
No,
James Harden need the ball. James Harden need the my. This is my issue, Ron. My issue is that I fucking let James Harden convince me that he wasn't James Harden anymore, and this is why I fucking hate this dude because of shit like this. Yo, I'm not even gonna talk about James Harden. I'm gonna leave it alone, right?
You might not. I will. Kawhi, yes. Kawhi, you have all the bail you need. Is it $1 million bail? 10 million?
But why does
whatever you need, I'm giving it to you because Kawhi balled. Because Kawhi did his job.
Yeah, but
because Kawhi did his job.
Let me ask you.
Okay, no. Let me ask you. If in the next series, Jamal Murray averages 27 points, Michael Porter Jr. gives you 20, but Jokic doesn't show up and do his job, who are you going to criticize and who are you going to give praise to?
Those two things are not the same thing, Ron.
He's gonna criticize he gonna criticize the coach.
Oh, okay, then criticize the coach. But I know what you're not going to do. You're not going to criticize Jamal Murray, and you're not going to criticize Michael Porter Jr. for doing more than expected.
Well, hold on. Kawhi Leonard's the best player on the team.
Like, okay, he played like the best player on the team.
Ron, if we're going
why are we not criticizing Zubac? Why isn't Zubac getting no criticism?
Man, this is just
because Zubac showed up and balled out.
Ron.
James Harden did not show up. I don't know what you like. Why are we overlooking that?
Time out. Oh, hold on. But
what? He did not show up.
Do in game 7?
Why are you doing that? He did not show up.
Go ahead, Swipa.
Is that a crazy question? You can blame James Harden.
Like, this is something new. We literally just had this conversation about James Harden not too long ago. And Mars came to James Harden's defense about what James Harden is in the playoffs. We consistently on this panel roast James Harden in the playoffs. Consistently. What are you talking about?
So why are we asking?
I hate James Harden.
Why are we asking other questions? And why are we? So why are we asking other questions? And why are we starting with Swipa saying little things about Kawhi? We need to be talking about James. I'm saying Kawhi balled out this series.
I hate James Harden.
For Kawhi to even get any type of slander or any type of side eyes,
or ask you follow-up questions. I'm saying you believe he played well. I'm saying last game, for instance, in game 7, what do you feel like he did to impact that game? And even when it was turning badly, what do you feel like he did? Do you feel like he didn't have the ability to do more to affect the turnout of game 7?
Swipa, so when the Nuggets went on a
very direct question, Ron.
And I'm answering it, chill. And I'm answering it. So when the Nuggets went on a 15-0 run, what did you want Kawhi to do? Go on a 15-0 run by himself after that?
Involved in the game, do something.
But he didn't. He wasn't guarding. Like I'm saying, was the defense what it needed to be? Was the shot making what it needed to be? Was the playmaking was the defensive playmaking? Do you feel like in the third quarter could he have done more? Could he have done more to influence what happened in the third quarter?
I guess he could have.
What do you mean you guess, Ron?
I said what I said, Chill. I guess he could have shut down the whole team by himself.
Ron, here's why we're bringing this. Here's why I'm bringing this up in particular. We haven't seen Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs in almost 5 years, right? Consistently. In almost 5 years, we haven't seen Kawhi Leonard in the playoffs. The last time we saw him in the playoffs, the last time we saw, no, I'm talking about consistently throughout the playoffs. The last time we saw him in the playoffs, healthy, he got busy. We just saw him in game 2 go for what he went off on. So when he comes back, immediately the consensus is, Leonard is back, and not back like you say he's back or just being here. I'm talking about Kawhi Leonard.
He was
is
getting put
back.
best in the world conversation.
He's
Mars.
back.
Haven't we been saying Kawhi's back since February?
He's back.
Yeah.
I don't
It wasn't
understand
game
what
two,
that has
still, it
to do
wasn't
with
game
this
two.
series, though.
Game two was an amazing showing. That's not nobody's gonna do that for 7 straight games. Who's gonna do that?
Okay,
With that
Kawhi,
type of efficiency,
but
who's
I
that
mean,
good?
let me answer that. This is what I have to. This is an angle you guys are not looking at.
I'm asking real ball knowledge. I'm asking you.
Listen, this is an angle you're not looking at real quick. Hold on. This is an angle you guys are not looking at when it comes to this, bro. Let me just say this real quick, and you guys can have the conversation, right?
Go ahead,
Listen, when it comes to James Harden, bro, how many superstars in today's league is going to play a superstar role for a team and then allow a guy to come back 30 games into the season to be the actual superstar of the team, and he's not going to perform in the playoffs? There's not that many other superstars that's going to sign up for that role. James Harden's role all season is to be the guy until Kawhi Leonard comes back from injury. How many guys are going to continue to keep taking the blame for something and then they also get told they're not the best player on the squad? So again, Kawhi Leonard is in a bad place right now. He can't play the whole season. He can't carry the whole team for a whole entire season. And then on top of that, inside the playoffs, we need him the most. And in Game 7, he plays awful. So again, bro, Kawhi Leonard and James Harden is probably going to split, and the Clippers are in a bad business. Go ahead. And I am a ball knowledge, Ox.
My
bad, Dion. That was rude, bro. I shouldn't have said that. My bad.
You good, bro? I'm chilling, bro.
My bad. I didn't mean to call you Bill Cosby earlier. My bad. I shouldn't have called you Bill Cosby.
I'm not apologizing for nothing.
I called you Bill Cosby.
But Ox, to answer your question, when I think that's the
you
standard.
call me Ray Charles, bro. Come on, bro. I'm here, bro.
Even if I don't expect Kawhi Leonard to shoot 75 or 80% from the floor. No, I don't expect that. But when you haven't seen him for such a long time, and then he comes back and gives you that kind of performance, that's a glimpse of what it could be. Maybe he is back to what he was. Maybe he is back to who he used to be. And that's what is expected of him. So now, to Ron's point, when he's averaging 25 a game, that 25 doesn't look like the 25 it was when he was averaging that in 2017 in the playoffs. It looks different than the 25 he was averaging in the playoffs in 2000 in the bubble. It looks a lot different. It's not the same because the athleticism isn't there. He doesn't run fast as he used to. He's still sharp. Well, right, he's still sharp. I'm not going to argue that point. But
Kawhi is a primary, and I think you would agree with this, Jill. Even in the 21 series, Kawhi Leonard's shot making has always been his thing. Like it's the defense, but it was the fact that he was an over the top shooter.
Yep.
And like that, like in the post score, and that's what Ox loves about him, and rightly so. Like he's always been really good.
He did that this series, though. Yeah, he was
doing
that.
But I'm saying though is that he also there are other things that he lacks. Like I think the fact that he is not a true playmaker is an issue, and it cost him. Like the fact that he cannot consistently create advantages for other people.
Everything.
Well, I think that's what I'm saying. Like there are players that are tasked with that.
Go ahead. My bad.
So that's what I'm saying. There are players that are tasked with that. I'm saying James wasn't good enough in his role. I do agree with you, but I think some of this, and like, because somebody in the chat said we haven't even got to Norman Powell, we haven't got to the fact that Chris Dunn started the series off great, and then was nowhere to be seen down the stretch because he just he couldn't play. Batum was really good, and then Game 7, he was not good, and then it just shifted. Now defensively, he's a monster. Like I don't, it didn't affect the second half at all, but he had some nice blocks and stuff there. Basically Hassan Whiteside in the second half. So some of this is like, are how with the Clippers and the way they play, their biggest thing is they are a legit defense. And they put so much pressure on you and make it impossible for you to score. But once the Nuggets figured out how to score consistently versus that team, especially at the rim chill, I mean, it was just like, now they're collapsing on everybody. And then once Christian Brown got hot, Russell Westbrook shot 42% from 3 in the series. Jamal started spacing the floor. Michael Porter started spacing the floor. Aaron Gordon, at some point, he was not only mismatch hunting Harden, y'all, he was mismatch hunting Kawhi in the post in Game 7. And like, so some of this is AG just like took it to another level with the physicality. And like I said, Jokic started 0 of 5, and I think he ended the game 6 of 8 from the field, but he just didn't need to play crazy in the second half. I think the team caught up to what the Clippers do well. And I think once they got comfortable chill, that's when the series really changed. And that's when the game changed in Game 7.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys don't get it started. The player choice way. The player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.